What's up, you guys? Chase the Dark Sage here, and today we're back with another video on the channel. And I've been thinking to myself, me and my boy Sam from Sam's Side Quest, we've been talking a lot about music lately, and one of the people that we've talked about a lot is Travis Scott, which is both one of our favorite artists. And since I've been re-listening to a lot of music from the blog era, I thought to myself, how about I rank some of the music from that era? And this video will be cementing the first video, I guess, ranking an artist from the actual blog era. And the blog era is basically the era when like Dat Piff and Live Mixtapes was like super popular during my middle school to high school years. So artists like Kid Cudi, Migos, Travis Scott, Kurt Cobain, Meek Mill, 2 Chainz, Future, Big Crit, Wiz Khalifa, Currency. Those are all artists that are kind of included in that whole blog era of rap. And even TDE's own Black Hippie, which is Kendrick Lamar, J-Rock, Schoolboy Q, and Ab-Soul. In this video today, we will be ranking some of Travis Scott's projects because I really been wanting to actually talk about and see my ranking between each of these projects because I love Travis Scott. I have some of his music actually bought on vinyl. I'm a huge Travis Scott fan. If you guys know, I'm from Texas, and I've been following Travis Scott's career since before Alfaro, which was his first project. So we will be getting into this tier list. We'll be looking at each of the track lists for each of these projects, and I'll be giving you my ranking on each of these. But before we actually get into it, let me know down below your favorite project from Travis Scott and the project you least like from Travis Scott. Let me know down in the comment section down below. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you haven't already and like the video. Let's go ahead and get into it. All right, guys, so we're on Tier Maker, and I'll leave a link to this tier list in the description down below. The first project we got up is Alfaro, then we have Rodeo, Days Before Rodeo, Huncho Jack, Birds in the Trap Singing McKnight, and Astroworld. And there's 2 on here that I'm going to be fighting for on this list. And there's one project I'm not going to fight for at all. In fact, we're going to already set the standard. Well, we're going to set the standard for the worst project that's on this list so far. And that project has to be Alfaro. Now, I know you're probably thinking, but Dark Sage, there's some pretty great tracks on Alfaro. And I will say I agree. There are some great tracks on Alfaro. In fact, let's take a look at the track listing. Right here, you can see that there are 14 tracks in Alfaro, and we got Bands with Meek Mill, Quintana featuring Wale, Drive featuring James Fauntleroy, 9 Dance on the Moon featuring Paul Wall and Theophilus London. Man, we got some tracks on here, all right, like Block of La Flame, Heck of a Night, Uptown, Upper Echelon. There are some really dope tracks on this project, but I will say that I did not like this project overall, and I was highly disappointed when I was first listening to this bad boy. There's so many attempts on this project, which I respect, but I also feel like Travis wasn't really in his lane yet. You could tell that he was biting off of a lot of flows. He was definitely biting off of Kid Cudi, and he was kind of biting, I feel, a bit off of A$AP Rocky at the time, too. But some of the songs that I do like on this project, Uptown, Block of La Flame, Dance on the Moon, Quintana, Drive, and Bands. But besides all that, I feel like a lot of these other songs are kind of duds in my opinion. I mean, the Torre y Moi feature, it's cool for what it is, but like Upper Echelon, I got really tired of that song really quickly. It was a cool song for like his debut type of track. Compared to like the tracks that we have now from him, it's nothing compared to those. And this is why Alfaro has to be in the D category. Now, next project we got to go to, and we're going to kind of go in order. We're gonna have to go to Days Before Rodeo, so let's go look at the track list. To me, Days Before Rodeo really showed the potential and the greatness that Travis Scott could bring to the actual game at this time. And honestly, this whole project is super fire. It's flames. This was very innovative for Travis Scott's career. And just going through some of these tracks, Days Before Rodeo, The Prayer, fire. Mamacita, fire. Quintana Part 2, fire. Especially with the beat change, even though T.I. was rapping on that second part, I really wish Travis would have kept rapping on that first part, but the beat change, it was all right. Drugs You Should Try It was definitely different from anything I've heard at that time, especially with Travis's heavy Atlanta trap influence. Man, there was some bangers on this project. Don't Play featuring Big Sean. Don't play with these. I mean, come on, man. Travis was going in on some of these tracks. We also got Skyfall, which is dope. We got Zombies, Sloppy Toppy with the Migos. Anytime Travis links with the Migos, it's always going to be some heat. We'll talk about Huncho Jack later. We also got Basement Freestyle, which I thought was cool. We got Backyard, which I thought was cool. Gray, which I thought was pretty good. And we got Back, which I thought was cool as well. So I'm going to have to put Travis Scott, Days Before Rodeo, in the A tier. This was such a great project for Travis Scott. This is something I always find myself going back to. And this is a project I can listen to from front to back, and I barely have any complaints with it. Like, yeah, Mexican can be a bit choppy. Yeah, you could say that he's overusing auto-tune, but these are all things that I really like through this project. Now we got the next album on this list, and we got to talk about this. This is Rodeo, his debut album. And I remember when I was in college and this project dropped, I was amazed. Like, I was flabbergasted by how this project was. Man, let's go ahead and take a look at the track list real quick. I really shouldn't have to say anything about Rodeo, but man, Rodeo is just such a great project that you guys are going to relive this with me. First track up, we have Pornography, which is a great opening track. Oh my gosh, that track is super heat. We got Oh My This Side featuring Quavo, and this is the one thing where people was like, man, Quavo and Travis, they make a really good team, and yeah, they do. On this song only. We'll talk about Huncho Jack later, like I said. But man, Oh My This Side is definitely a banger. It's one of the standout tracks on this whole project, especially with the beat change, and they start to get a little bit more melodic with it, and the beat gets a bit slower. Oh my God, I could go forever on Oh My This Side. This is such a great project. We also got 3500, which was a great single for the actual album itself, featuring 2 Chainz and Future. 2 Chainz did end out the song, and the song is very long, especially from a production standpoint, because even after they get done rapping, the beat goes for a little while, but when it goes to the actual vibe of the album, I'm rocking with it. But if I'm just trying to listen to the song by itself, I kind of skip past that whole little beat breakdown or whatever that happens at the end. Next one we got is Wasted with Juicy J. Not my favorite track, but it's definitely not a bad track. Juicy J's feature was great. Travis's actual hook and verses were also pretty good on this one as well. We got 90210 featuring Casey Hill. And that second beat, like the actual beat transition to Kanye's sampled song, oh my gosh. 90210 is one of those songs where it's like drugs, you should try it. It's just something so different that you hear in hip hop that you can't even explain the feelings that you have towards it besides actually crying or like just feeling euphoria while actually listening to it. 90210, the first part, it was cool, but that second part definitely makes the song to me, and I like the way that Travis flows on that as well. Next song up we have is Pray for Love featuring The Weeknd, and this song was so good. I love the production on this. The Weeknd was great on this as well, especially with his little rapping verse. Oh man, and then Travis's little verse where I think he was talking about his girlfriend putting a meat in a Pringle box. I don't know, I forget, but hey, this song was great either way, and this is a song that I definitely see myself always coming back to. Now we have one of the standout tracks that we gotta talk about, and one of my favorite produced tracks probably of all time, and that has to be Nightcrawler featuring Chief Keef and Sway Lee. This song is perfect. This is like a trap anthem right here when it just comes to drugs, girls, and money and partying. This is the track right here. Chief Keef's verse is amazing. Sway Lee sounds great singing on this song, and Travis Scott with the hook, and then the refrain, when the night comes, all the money, all the girls, all the alcohol. There's just so many great things with this actual song. The production alone, I need the beat. I need to DM Travis right now just to get that beat, because if you put this in the car, your car's gonna blow up from how heat this song is. So yeah, Nightcrawler, definitely good. We also got Piss on Your Grave featuring Kanye West, and this is one of those songs where, to me, it's a goofy, fun song. Like, I wouldn't just throw this on randomly, but this is a song that I wouldn't skip if I was listening to it on the album. Like, if I was listening through the album all the way through, it's definitely a funny song. You could definitely see that Travis cannot rap, but Kanye's on here being goofy, being over the top, and I just like it when rappers basically have fun on songs. So Piss on Your Grave is not a song that I will rush to go listen to, but if it's on the album and I'm just listening to the whole album as a whole, I'll listen to Piss on Your Grave. We got Antidote, which was another single off of this album, and I remember when I first heard Antidote and Travis didn't really have that auto-tuney sound like perfected like he does now with the high pitch. I thought it was somebody else actually singing it, but now when I keep looking back at it, I'm just looking at myself like, dude, you were such an idiot back then. Why did you think that wasn't Travis Scott? But you also gotta think, I was thinking of Alfaro way more than I was of Days Before Rodeo, even though Days Before Rodeo is a classic in Travis Scott's discography. But we also got Impossible, which to me, it's all right. Like, it's not one of those songs that I just remember off the top of my head. We got Maria, I'm Drunk, one of the best songs on that album as well. I never thought I would hear Young Thug and Justin Bieber on a song together with Travis Scott, and it sounded perfect. We got Flying High with Tori Moir, which is cool. It's not a bad track. We got I Can Tell, and I Can Tell is such a dope song. We also got Apple Pie. We got Okay Alright featuring Schoolboy Q, which is also good, and we got Never Catch Me, which is also a good track. But I believe this is on the expanded version of the album right here. But yeah, Rodeo, classic from Travis Scott. With all that being said, you guys know I'm putting Rodeo in the S tier. This definitely deserves to be in S tier. Travis Scott only has 2 projects that's going in the S tier. You guys already know what those projects are, but let's go ahead and get into Birds in the Trap Sing McKnight, which I think put in my head that Travis is a very hit or miss artist. But let's go ahead and look at the track list for Birds in the Trap Sing McKnight. Okay, so I won't lie to you guys, Birds in the Trap Sing McKnight is one of my personal favorite projects from Travis, but I can acknowledge that it has a lot of flaws and it's not as great as some of his other projects like Rodeo and Astroworld. But let's actually go through the track listing. We got The Ends featuring Andre 3000, and I also want to note on here that when you actually get the album on streaming services, like at least back then, I don't know how it is now, you didn't see the featurings on these songs. So literally each time you listen to a song, you were just going to be surprised with who was on the song. So I did like that aspect of this album right here. And I didn't know what to expect with Birds and Trap Sing McKnight. But I will say that I did like the atmospheric dark trap vibe that we really did get with Birds of the Trap. But yeah, the ends featuring Andre 3000, fire verse. Way Back, fire. 3, Coordinate, featuring Black Youngsta. While I didn't really care for his intro, that song is a vibe, especially when you ride at night. We got track number 4, Through the Late Night, and this is a song that I'm very iffy with, and I get it. Kid Cudi is his favorite artist and one of the people who basically inspired Travis to really make music and his sound. I did not really like the song like that. To me, I didn't like the fit of Kid Cudi or Travis on the song. We got Beeves of the Trap featuring Nav, and Nav saying the N-word on the song. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't really mind Nav saying the N-word on the song. This song is just so hard. But this is also before we actually knew what Nav looked like, so this was a different time back then. I'm a fan of Nav, in case you guys did not know, and I know it's probably about to be super surprising with some of my rankings. But yeah, I love this song. I know it's not that great of a song, but I actually really love this song. This song bumps. Nav shines a lot on this song, especially with him having 2 hooks, the first verse, and then Travis comes on later on. And Travis's verse, I really liked it, but it's not that great of a song. So let's go ahead and go to track 6. Track 6 is SDP Interlude, which was cool to set a vibe, but to me, it wasn't enough. Now, I do have the actual full version of the USB in my car to listen to, and I didn't really like the full version either. I don't see myself ever going back to this song unless I'm listening to the album itself. We got number 7, Sweet Sweet, which is a very forgettable Travis Scott song. We got Outside featuring 21 Savage, which is also a forgettable Travis Scott song. We got number 9, Goosebumps, one of the singles off of this album, and Goosebumps was just a good track overall. I think the vibe, the production, and Kendrick Lamar's verse, which I never thought I would see Kendrick Lamar featuring on a Travis Scott song, but it fits. I like it. We got First Take, and I gotta say that Bryson Tiller is definitely the standout on this track. Now, Travis, he has a cool verse, but Bryson Tiller was definitely the standout on this track. I really do like First Take. We got Pick Up the Phone with Young Thug and Travis Scott doing a joint song together featuring Quavo, and this song was all right. I like the hook. The verses is kind of missed to me, and Quavo, he's just Quavo on the song. I kind of like Quavo and Travis Scott together more on a Travis Scott project than an actual regular song together. We got Lose, we got Guidance, we got Wonderful. These are all kind of forgettable songs. Like Wonderful kind of was like preludes to certain songs on Astroworld, but all these other songs right here, like this whole different theme that Travis tries to go for, I feel like the album kind of loses its momentum right here because it doesn't keep that same aesthetic or vibe that the album had previously, that kind of felt like this druggy, dark, atmospheric, moody type of rap that we was getting from Travis. These last 3 tracks, they definitely kind of duds to me, so we're gonna have to put Birds of the Trap, Sing McKnight in the B tier. And the only reason I'm putting it in the B tier is that I feel like I should be able to put one album at least in each spot. So obviously one of these albums is gonna have to be sharing a spot with another album. We already kind of know what that is, but let's go ahead and talk about Huncho Jack Huncho. I'm not really excited for this. All right, so we are on the track list for Huncho Jack Huncho, a 13-track project between Travis Scott and Quavo, and I was super hyped for this project to come out. I remember waiting for this to come out, and this album slaps. But this album is not good. This album is not good at all. And we can go through each track, and I'll tell you which tracks I like and which ones I don't. Modern Slavery is cool. We got Black and Chinese, which is also cool. Eye to Eye, very great song. Motorcycle Patches, great song. Huncho Jack, very, very fire song. You gotta bump this in the whip or when you're at the gym. We got Saint, which is good. Go, which is it's very forgettable. We got Dubai Ish featuring Offset, which is very forgettable. We got Saint Laurent Mask, which I like the beat. I like Travis. Quavo is the one that really holds Travis back. And we'll get into how I feel about this album afterwards, because I'll explain some of my takes on this album after we get through the track list. We got Moon Rock, which is cool. We got How You Feel, which is cool. We got Where You From, which is one of my favorite songs on this actual project. And I will say, with that little SpongeBob-like sample, I enjoy it. If that coupe came with rims, I don't want it. Stock me out. Big Block Me Out. Oh, that song is hard. But yeah, then we got Best Man, which is a nice little ending somber song. And then Travis also kills that song as well. But one of my biggest problems with this project and why I don't rank it as highly, well, one, it's not that good. But 2, I think that Quavo really holds Travis back. Like when we had Oh My This Side, this was on Travis Scott's terms. And we have Kelly Price, which Quavo and Travis did a great job. Takeoff, he was cool on it, but every time Takeoff, Travis, and Quavo get together, I think they make phenomenal music. Like, look at Eye to Eye on here. Look at Kelly Price. Look at Who What on Astroworld. Fire music. When it's Quavo and Travis alone, and Travis isn't the one that's actually facilitating everything, I think it falls flat. You can really see Quavo's flaws on this project because Quavo raps literally about the same thing every single song. His cadence is basically the same. Quavo doesn't really change it up, and I feel like Travis, because of that, doesn't change it up as well. Travis was very tame on this project. He wasn't able to really change it up or let loose like a Travis project would really let him do. And this production, it was standard between the two. Like it was I wouldn't say it was a mix, because Travis Scott's trap production to me is way more unique than it is on this project right here. To me, these songs just felt like standard trap beats given to big trap artists. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like Quavo held back Travis on this project. Quavo was really the hurting grace on this project. Travis Scott was barely a saving grace on this project. I still like this because it bumps the whip for sure, but when it comes to the actual lyrics, this project is horrible. This project is horrible. The flows are horrible most of the time. Travis does his thing on some songs. Quavo, like I said, he's basically the same person on every single song. He really doesn't change it up at all. And it's just the same flow, the same auto-tune, whining sound that Quavo gets. Now, I like Quavo on some other stuff, but when it's just Quavo and someone else, you could really hear the flaws in Quavo. So I'm going to have to give Huncho Jack, especially coming after Days Before Rodeo, and Birds in the Trap, I got to give it a C. It's not as bad as Alfaro. I don't think it was as great as Birds in the Trap Singing Night, because Birds in the Trap, I feel like Travis was trying to do something different, and I appreciate that. Days Before Rodeo definitely cemented Travis's sound, so it's nowhere near that. And then we got Rodeo, which Huncho Jack can never. And now we got the last album to talk about, and I'm not even gonna play with y'all. I'm putting this in S, but we're actually gonna go look at the track list, and we're gonna talk about some of the songs on there. Now, I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I'm a little biased to Astroworld because I went to go see this in concert. I bought some merch, I bought the vinyl twice. I'm biased to Astroworld. I love Astroworld with every single fiber in my being, so we're gonna be very biased this. But number one, Stargazing, fire. Carousel featuring Frank Ocean with the Big Tut sample, fire. Sicko Mode, fire. RP Screw, fire. Stop Trying to Be God. This is one song I just don't go to like on its own, but if I'm listening to the whole album as a whole, then I'll listen to this. We got No Bystanders, which is such a hard song. Oh my gosh. We got Skeletons, which it's not bad, but it's definitely not making me go crazy. We also got Wake Up, which also isn't bad, but this also isn't making me go crazy either. We got 5% Tit, what actually samples a super legendary Southern hip hop track, Goody Mob. Come on, we're not even gonna talk about that. 5% Tit was a good produced track. It kind of lacks in some areas, but I don't think it's a bad song. Nowhere near that. We got NC-17 featuring 21 Savage. This song sounds fire. It sounds like you're actually in a circus or at some type of fair with a little carousel going around. This sounds fantastic. We got Astro Thunder, which is a cool chill song. We got Yosemite featuring Gunna and Nav. Didn't really have a place on the song like that, especially with him only having the last 10 to 20 seconds of the song, but hey, it's cool. But right after that is the real standout track, which is Can't Say featuring Don Toliver. Basically Don Toliver's debut to everybody, and this song, Can't Say, if it's not the best, it's one of the best on this project. I'm not going to say any more about this. We got Who What featuring Quavo on Takeoff, and me and my boy Sam was actually talking about this song. I love this song. He doesn't. I understand why he does it, but I love this song. It does kind of throw off the vibe of the album a bit, but when it comes to Quavo, Takeoff, and Travis coming onto a song together, I love whatever they do, basically. Like I said, Kelly Price, Eye to Eye, Who What, great songs to me all in general, but it does throw off the vibe of what was happening on this album. I just felt like Travis had to throw something trap out there to remind everybody like, yo, I still get on my trap-ish. You get what I'm saying? And I enjoyed it. We got Butterfly Effect, which is a song I got tired of really, really fast. We got Houston Fornication and Coffee Bean, which are both two alright songs. Houston Fornication I like a bit more than Coffee Bean, but Coffee Bean is a very somber way to actually end out Astroworld. But that's about it for the video. Let me know your ranking down in the comment section down below. If you haven't already, I'd like to say thank you guys for watching. Man, let me know if my rankings are bad or not. I really don't care what y'all think because this is my rankings. And like I said, I had to at least put each album in one place on this actual ranking tier list thing. So yeah, I'll leave a link to this in the description down below. Like I said earlier, make sure you hit the like button and subscribe if you like the content. Like I said, thank you guys for watching. Dark Sage out. Peace.